This is my mission report 2017. Actually, I start doing YouTube channel. This is 2020. I found this file, so I'm just turning into a video format and uploading for record and for people who wants to learn about doing mission in Cambodia and doing some research. It all started 1997. One in my quiet time, I heard the word Cambodia. And I said, Lord, where is Cambodia? Because I really didn't know. But around the time, I found out that 500 Cambodian families live in South Central. These are mainly the boat people who came to America, refugees, who actually first introduced to the slums of LA. And a lot of them, 65,000 of them eventually moved out and started a community in Long Beach. But in South Central, they lived there. So when Lord told me to plant a church there, I had Brian Jordan, Brother Hin, and we went and planted a church. That was then. And then 2001, Lord started taking us to Kampong Cham, and then introduced to CRRC leprous colony. And Lord unilaterally told me to eradicate leprosy. And my response, of course, is say, what? But we obeyed, working with Korean missionaries there. We bought the land, 200 meter by 400 meter. That's 20-acre lot. Started Bright Future School for leprous children. And many more agencies and supporters from Korea helped the Korean missionaries and built a great ministry there. Now the question came to my mind, would doing this only actually bring the gospel to Cambodia? And the answer is of course not. You'll help 133 kids, but not all of them also live as Christian. And I don't want to be pessimistic, but just the reality, that's the fact. Then what should I do, Lord? And Lord really impressing my heart to do Cambodian pastors training. And we launched that training with Pastor Thang Baek Hong of New Life Church of Phnom Penh. And it was wonderful. 2007, we launched. And then even till now, it continues. I don't know about this year because of the COVID-19, but till last year, I was part. And 2015, 2017, this is our 12th annual conference. My wife, looking hip. When we all flew out to Siem Reap together, and she was presenting her emotional well-being in the church. And so every year we minister to Cambodian pastors that way. And this is Pastor Thang Baek Hong. And boy, his man and the Thang Baek Hong and his wife Samoan, man and woman of integrity, the spiritual giants, spiritual leaders of Cambodia. But then we asked, training with what? Well, we needed to publish books, so we had to start a company called Bright and Brighter Company. This is years ago, many decades ago actually, and then we start publishing books. At that point, I published 18 books. So we start translating my books into Khmer. And once we did that, we needed a bookstore, working with Salt and Light Bookstore, already existing under some Grace, Missionary Grace, Moses, awesome team. And we co-labor together. I financed a lot of the bookstores and publishing books. And that year we published Blood Gospel. And then we published into Khmer and published into Chinese and start training Chinese missionaries in Cambodia. We're helping with some agencies. And the second story was like a gallery. Well, and then we did some of the worship conference. We did that for almost 10 years with a team from Hong Kong. They're just awesome team. And as a result, we also started publishing worship books. And the third story of the Salt and Light Bookstore, we converted into recording studio. We did our own New Life production. Um, so we basically did a lot of crazy stuff. Lord allow us to really do those kind of stuff. We just thank God for that. Looking back, how did we do all these? Well, only God could have done that. Well, then once I started getting to know Cambodian pastors and realized that Cambodian pastors are quitting ministry because they want to get a secular job. Because these awesome men and women of God have been so underpaid, and yet they faithfully serve, but they couldn't send their kids through college. Well, why? Because they didn't have money. So I said, 2007, I said, hey, let me go across America and raise some money so we could send the pastor's kids through four-year college. It was kind of crazy idea, but it became reality. 2007, the CTS TV, Christian television system of Korea, and USA, they did 8 documentaries, still aired in CTS Korea today. And after raising $140,000, we launched the Pastor's Kids Scholarship in 2008, and we're able to graduate 35 Pastor's Kids four-year college, which was, I thought was very meaningful. But then we start asking the question, how do we disciple these students, right? Well, the best way is to live together. And so Jenny and I, we start a student center. New Life Church already had student center, so I volunteer. I said, can we start another one? And can you give us leadership and some people? And then we started living together with them. That was a wonderful time as well. And then we start networking with youth conferences, large and small, start teaching. We were part of their New Life Church professional outreach. We would invite all the professionals from Hong Kong, Singapore, and let them speak. And then by God's grace, from 2007, we start network with Central Peace, this orphanage started by Bopar. And I had honor of actually walking her down the aisle as she married American missionary, and recently she became American citizen. Oh, they both still live in Cambodia, still serving. And then once this Central Peace kids start graduating, becoming adults, they needed place. So now we moved out of the student center from New Life Church, and then we started living with them. And then it was just so awesome. And when we revisit, they still worship the Lord. Well, a lot of them graduated, moved on, and married. And so these are graduate of Central Peace, House of Peace College students. Beautiful gal, Chen. She became the director, program director. Bless her heart. Nit, Chorban, they all graduate from YWAM, 2-year programs. And Nit became staff with my wife, Jenny. And more than 10 are going. Oh, that was 2017, but a lot more have graduated. And they start revisiting our center, Kakada, and 2017, the Woman of Victory. My wife has been part of this women's ministry for good 15 years, and they have elaborate decoration, and my wife preaching.
Here, I had a chance to go to a village in Chuk. And in Chuk, there were many women leaders. And I could tell that they were warriors.
Well, she also has a ministry called Oasis House. Started 2000 that year. She really worked with wonderful counselors, wonderful woman leaders through intercession, through equipping, through prayer, worship, and we're hosting a lot of guests. And beautiful center and build a community where she belongs and she worships, she celebrates, and also a place where other counseling center come and co-work, labor together. 2017 has been very busy year. Although it started just that year, God has led her to many opportunities like outreach to communities, and so they're using and praying for people, and literally in these villages, a lot of people voluntarily just burning their idols, encountering God, and then we will go in and actually train them also in prayer. 2017 has been very busy year, and I also has a group called Cambodia Research and Resource Center. Four families of missionaries got together and started renting a building house, three-story house, and then we started coming together, organizing small meetings with Korean missionaries, large meetings. We're part of that, and then start publishing books. Um, and that year we moved to a new location, working with another team from Korea, and also presenting our paper at Phnom Penh Forum. Uh, and I've been actually busy 2017 ministering at local Cambodian church started by Korean missionaries, missionary Yang of John the Baptist Church. It was their anniversary. I believe it was 10th anniversary, and wow, what a great time. Also, I started a PhD at Oxford Center for Mission Studies, and wow, that was crazy time. We ended up living in England for 2 years, and my PhD was on patron-client relationship. I would do research and write a paper and present my paper. This is what I call academic lynching, where they'll kill you with a smile. But I survived that, and with that paper, I would travel, present my paper at Uram Diaspora. I think this was in Paris, and then I had privilege of presenting my paper in Korea, and this is the IAMS, International Assembly of Mission Society, Missiologist Society, which was fantastic opportunity. Put my paper at a more of an international setting. That's the year that I actually spoke at Sri Lanka as well, and my hair grew. I wanted to be more like Jesus. Well, I started also teaching at Royal University, philosophy department, and the class that I was teaching is metaphysics, East and West. The bottom line question I raised first day is, what is this? Or was ist nicht? What is nothing? And we had a marvelous time. We had a wonderful 12 graduate students, and we would celebrate together. They would do a birthday party for me, and we'll go to Bonchon Chicken, and we celebrate. We became such a good friends. Then I asked them a question.
So what did you learn from me for last 2 months?
They end up presenting their paper at International Day of Philosophy at RRPP. It's just wonderful. And that year, my book was translated into Japanese, Thai, Chinese, Pakistani, and Ethiopian. That's just crazy in 1 year. And so 13 languages so far. And in Thai, they gave me the Thai language book and giving a testimony how God is really doing amazing things in Thailand through that book. And I start teaching at China, Xinjiang. It was a wonderful time. The best highlight of that was eating that authentic Xinjiang jimpang. Oh my goodness, the dumpling was out of this world. Wow. that year, I actually, in September 2017, I went to Vietnam and was teaching some church leaders the book, The Blood Gospel. And of course, in Vietnam, you must eat their pho. And don't talk about pho until you ate pho at Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon. November, we had to go to Korea, rest a bit, and start ministering to people in Hipum Center. That was wonderful. And Jenny started ministering there, and I also taught, and we were praying for the people. And of course, we had to come home on Thanksgiving, and we had our traditional Thanksgiving dinner at our house in America, and we celebrate our Christmas as a family. We have a big family. And right below the light, there is my mom. She passed away last year, but 2017, she was still part. Traditionally, they all come to my house. This is an old family. So my wife's maiden name is Kang. But Thanksgiving, the Kangs come together. Christmas, O's come together. These are my brothers and my siblings and their extended family. Well, Christmas for our family, 3 wonderful children and 2 beautiful rabbits, and we celebrate Christmas. And so we say, thank you for your love and support. Lord bless you. That is 2017 mission report from Jenny and I.